Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my videos. It's good to see you. This week I am going to be talking about going on keto for the first time, why I did keto, how I feel about keto, what I ate, and if that's something that you're interested in, just keep watching. Looking forward to sharing with you guys. Before we get started, I want to give a giant disclaimer, a giant diet disclaimer, if you will. I know that the word diet is often associated with weight loss. I will not be talking about weight loss, weight gain, none of that. That's none of my business. It's none of your business about me. I cannot recommend that. I am not a medical doctor. I will never tell anyone to do anything to change anything about their body. Absolutely not referring to diet in that term. I am just using it as another way to express an eating style. So I'll talk about diet, but use it interchangeably with the words eating style. So that is where I stand on that. Just wanted to be very clear. I'm also giving no medical advice in any which way. You guys, my medical knowledge is very limited. I don't like the human bodies are squishy. It creeps me out when it reminds me of our mortality. So I tend to shy away from learning about things about the human body. However, I just found the keto diet very interesting, so I did a lot of research, which you can check out down below. But not offering any medical advice. The keto diet can be used for a lot of different medical reasons. Not gonna talk about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm only going to talk about why I did it and how it made me feel. Okay, now disclaimers out of the way. I want to give an extremely brief overview of what keto is. So I think a lot of people probably have heard the word and associate that with a high fat, high protein diet. It's actually high fat, moderate protein, whatever amount of protein you need to sustain your muscles or bulk up if that's what you're looking to do, and very low carbohydrates. So before I share about my journey with a keto eating style, I just want to mention some people who might be interested in keto, or if you've been struggling, this might be a good alternative for you, or just any kind of reason you might want to try keto. I'll not be mentioning weight loss, insulin resistance, no medical terms. That's not what we're here for. I can only recommend things based on my experiences. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you are on a low fiber diet, if you're gluten-free, grain-free, trying to eat less sugar in your diet, you've been craving fatty or salty foods and you just wanna make a week of it, you just wanna try something new. You like the culinary challenge, you wanna get adventurous in the kitchen. You never eat fruits and veggies anyways. Might as well just switch some pasta and rice for a side of cheese and steak. You wanna get more fat in your diet. You wanna try fasting, but you're scared of not eating, so this is a baby step for you. You have a hectic life. You get hangry or you just get afternoon slumps. Given the small amount of information that I have shared about the keto eating style, why did I decide to do keto? Well, this whole year I've been trying a bunch of different eating styles because I've had stomach aches for as long as I can remember. And I have been to so many doctors, have done so many tests, we've looked at so many things. I am over it. I've been in and out of a lot of doctors, and beginning of this year, I was like, that's it, we're gonna figure this out. Mission 2020. Funny enough, luckily this goal is still on track for 2020 because eating just involves myself. Anyways, okay, so first month I did Whole30. I'm not really gonna get into that, but basically it's kind of an elimination diet. So it was very, very restrictive. I can only have a certain amount of food, group type things. And then after a month, you slowly introduce them into your diet to figure out what you might have an issue with. Had a definite issue with gluten. That was a heck to the no. I still eat it about every week because until I get tested to get it on my medical record that I have an issue, I need to keep it in my diet. And the other issue I had was soy, but I think, looking back, I think I was not fair to soy because the first time I had soy back into my diet was I made this like chocolate pudding thing, and that included sugar. And so here we are, tying it back to keto. I think I may have actually had an issue with sugar and not soy. So I did that, and then I tried intermittent fasting for a little bit, which I loved. I felt great. I loved giving my stomach a break to just relax and not digest food every few hours. Bless that tummy, it worked so hard. I didn't restrict any kind of calories or anything. I just ate normally, or ate just as much within a small window of time. It was hard to eat that much food in a short amount of time, and oftentimes at the end of my feeding block, I felt very full and about to pop. But towards the end of my fasting, I felt so great. I felt like I could move around. My stomach didn't hurt. I felt really energetic. I really, really liked that. But just due to lifestyle, I think fasting's a little difficult if, like, you know, friends want to go out, or it's just the weekend, you want to eat whenever you want. Even though I was feeling better fasting, girls gotta do what you gotta do, and that's have fun eating. So I was kind of looking like I want to try something in between. Like, I've just accepted that, you know, I kind of have an issue with some of these foods, and that's okay. And I was like, what, is there a middle ground? Like, what can I do? Pops up the keto diet. And so why I thought this was a good middle ground for me is keto will often be referred to as the fed fast, because you are obviously eating during it, but since you're eating very low carbohydrates, your insulin doesn't spike. So that is usually a good indicator that you have broken fast, is that when you eat carbohydrates, insulin is released to dispose or use those carbohydrates. But when you eat fat, your insulin stays pretty low and protein is moderate. So it can appear to your body that you are fasting and you might be able to reap some of those benefits, but you're still taking in calories and giving your body nutrients. So I like the idea of that. I like that by nature of the diet, I would have to cut out sugar and definitely gluten, because I was already trying to cut that out as well. So it just felt like a good fit for me. I will say another disclaimer, I do not eat artificial sweeteners. I cannot. They make me so sick. If I wanted something sweet, I was just gonna put sugar in it, and keep in mind that it needed to be low or it would kick me out of ketosis, and I was okay with that. It is what it is. All right, now that you guys have a little bit of background information about the diet or the eating style, and about me, I just want to talk about some of the stuff I decided to eat. So, like every type of eating style, you can always lean in a healthy way or an unhealthy way. But I think for the meals that I prepared during this time, it was just moderate. Like, I wasn't going to try to be super healthy. I wasn't going to totally throw out health out the window, but something in between. I just wanted to have fun, and I didn't focus on what is healthy fat, what is unhealthy fat. I just ate what I wanted throughout the week and made what I thought sounded tasty for the week. So there's not a whole lot to it. I did have to track all my food to make sure that I was in ketosis, because I knew that I wasn't going to intuitively be able to eat my way into ketosis, because I've never done that before. I knew it was going to be high fat, but I knew that I wanted to also make sure I was getting enough protein and kind of enough fruits and vegetables as well. Like, I didn't try real hard, but like I wanted to leave a little bit of a gap just in case I really wanted some and I should want them. So that's where I was at. Yeah, so let's take a look at what I ate. I'm starting just with an avocado. Pretty simple. I just have 3 fried eggs and coconut oil, some spinach and tomatoes, and lots of pepper. Whole milk yogurt, coconut chips, frozen blueberries, pumpkin seeds, and a dash of cinnamon. Medium boiled eggs and coconut aminos and everything but the bagel seasoning. Sorry, I totally forgot what this stuff was called. On a very small bed of arugula and tomatoes. I'm making keto chocolate chip pancakes. We'll see how they turn out. These are real chocolate chips, like not artificial sweetener, because I can't have that. But I think it's staying within a reasonable carb limit. I don't know, I haven't put it in MyFitnessPal yet. I don't really care, because this is what we're doing, and I'm really excited. They're actually looking really good. Pumpkin spice quote unquote oatmeal. It's not really oatmeal, but this is the best one yet. It is so good. It has 2 tablespoons of almond flour, a tablespoon of coconut flour, a tablespoon of ground flaxseed, 40 grams of canned pumpkin. It's like 2 tablespoons. Almond milk to get it to the consistency that I wanted, pumpkin spice, obviously, cinnamon, and a dash of maple extract. And then the almond milk I used had vanilla in it, so I didn't add vanilla. And just pumpkin seeds on the top with some extra cinnamon. It is, oh wait, also forgot, tablespoon of sunflower butter. It is such a good consistency. It's such a good flavor. I honestly don't even feel like it needs any sugar. It's more filling than I think than regular oatmeal because it has like a lot more fat. It has more fiber and more protein and everything. I'm in love. Lemon mushroom, like spiced asparagus. I have this umami mushroom extract from Trader Joe's. It's my first time trying it, but it seems really good. A few cherry tomatoes and this like weird shrimp scampi thing. I didn't look up directions, it's just what I think is in shrimp scampi. Is a yellow curry with coconut cream. I added a extra can of just water so I can make it like this soup, and I've got chicken thighs with skin on and crisp and coconut oil, broccoli and red onion. Typically you wouldn't put that in yellow curry, but that's what I wanted, so that's what I did. So just made a quick little supreme pizza casserole. It's got the basics: pizza sauce, pizza cheese. Don't ask me what kind of cheese that is. I don't normally eat cheese. I don't know. I'm sorry. Red onion, green bell pepper, black olives. What else? Mushrooms. Oh, it's got meat. It's got all natural sausage and all natural pepperoni. I can't really do like nitrates or the preservatives I put in a lot of food that give me migraines. And I added a small pat of grass-fed butter and garlic so I can replicate that garlic dipping sauce that everyone loves. Maybe it's just me, but everyone loves from Papa John's, and a sprinkling of fresh parsley. Very excited. My house smells amazing. This probably looks really gross to some people. It's just tuna salad, arugula, and olives. A lot of foods that people don't like. But it tastes really good to me. A little cauliflower risotto mixture. So I had a frozen bag of just cauliflower risotto medley thing. So that was really easy. Just microwave that, added some spinach, some ground sausage, and a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of butter, and then some pizza cheese, still going through that, some parsley, spices. Very tasty. Some chocolate. This is one of my favorite snacks. It's the roasted deluxe mixed nuts. A few walnuts and some coffee with a little bit of almond milk, some frozen blueberries, some raspberry. Eating some pumpkin seeds. Snacking on cacao nibs. I think that's what they're called. Kind of tastes like dirt, if I'm honest. I don't know. That is what I ate. Next, I want to talk a bit about my quantitative results throughout the diet. And I use that term loosely because while I did gather numbers, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew I wanted data, and I had data, so I might as well share it. And so 2 sets of quantitative data. Like I said before, tracked all my food, so I had all the fat, carbs, calories, protein, everything here. I'm not talking about calories because I know that it's triggering to some people / is none of your business. You only need to know the percents of fat and stuff that I eat, so it's all really relative. And the other set of quantitative data that I have is for the ketone strips that I use. So clearly graphing was not incredibly helpful. I will say that's totally my fault on that because I should have done more research to see how quickly you could go into ketosis, so it wasn't really helpful looking at ketones and food intake over that long period of time. I should have done it in much smaller increments, but Now we know. I just have this graph here, or this chart here, with some different sums, average values, and everything. I think that might be more helpful in understanding kind of the effects of my diet on the ketone levels. And first things first, my net carbs were honestly just around 10%, which was what I was shooting for. So I was really excited about that because I didn't really try and make sure that happened every day. It just kind of happens. And then you can see here on row 10, that is the day I had this Portuguese egg tart, which was really high in carbohydrates. It had gluten, it had sugar, it had all of that. And you can see that the next couple days, it took me a while to really get back into where I was before, which is definitely how I felt as well. Like I felt like once I came out of ketosis, it took me about 2 days to really get back into it, like if I really came out of ketosis. So you can see that here in the chart, which I thought was really interesting. This average, kind of take it with a grain of salt because I didn't do, the same amount of measurements every day at the same times. It's just whenever I felt like it. So I understand that those numbers are skewed that way. But even with like a gross margin of error, we're still looking at an average ketone of 3.45 millimoles per liter, which is definitely a solid ketosis. The test strips that I bought said you want between 0.5 and 3. So that's kind of also why I was looking into just trying to do lower carb later on, because I don't really have a need to go into deep ketosis at all. But there's a more put together summary of kind of the data that I gathered. Also, I want to note, even though it's none of your guys' business, I just want to be clear so people aren't concerned, but I am on a lower fiber diet. So I think the daily recommended amount is 25 grams. You can see that I barely reached that a couple times, but just my doctor had recommended that for me because I have so many stomach issues, and that's just another thing that your stomach has to wrestle with. So I had switched to a lower fiber diet. All right, now that we have covered quantitative results that were not extremely helpful, but that's where we're at. There's the data, that's what it is. We're gonna talk about qualitative data, which I feel like to me is way more important. It actually means something to me. I can easily share that. And yeah, so first things first, I felt so good on the keto diet. So normally when I eat things that my body doesn't like, which is still TBD, I still don't know everything, I just get this feeling in my stomach where I know if I eat XYZ, I'm gonna feel bad afterwards. And I don't know how to describe it. And sometimes I know that food X, Y, and Z will be fine based on that, just that feeling. So very complicated. I don't understand it. But on the keto diet, none of that. No heartburn. It was beautiful. I normally get heartburn every day. I don't think I had it as a kid, but for I feel like most of my adult life, I don't really know why. I read somewhere that people with asthma are more likely to get heartburn. I don't know. It's not enjoyable. When I was first diagnosed with it, I couldn't eat anything. Like oranges, no. Chocolate, heck no. Like tomatoes, no. No, it was very difficult, very, very sad point in my life. I still ate a lot of chocolate and I was still in a lot of pain. And then I took some medicine and changed my diet. But normally to this day, I still kind of struggle with it. Like I'm not gonna have a cup of coffee and some chocolate together. No. However, on this diet, guys, let me tell you, I went crazy. So normally if you have heartburn, you can't have spicy food, high fat food, chocolate, acidic foods, so oranges. But no, on this diet, I would eat my curry bowls, a piece of chocolate, coffee, all together. I just kept it coming, pushed the limits. The limit was barely there. It was unreal. Is this what people normally feel like when they eat? Like there's no rhyme. They're just like, yep, it's digested now. Didn't come back and talk to me. It's just, gone, floating around my body now. Is that what it's normally like? Because I had no idea. It was wonderful. I loved it. I loved being able to eat food and not hear about it from my stomach for the next however many hours. It was beautiful, and I'm beyond thankful. And for that reason alone, for the rest of my life, I will be shooting for a more protein, I always need more protein, but a higher fat diet in general. So, and I love that for me, because now I know that if someone has fluffy dinner rolls sitting on the table, and I've got a nice little veggie, a nice little piece of chicken or steak, and I want a fluffy dinner roll, no, I know what to do. I'm gonna grab a giant pat of butter and slather that on my food, and I'm going to have less heartburn, and I'm gonna have even tastier plate of food. This is valuable information to me, and I'm absolutely enthusiastic about it. I'm so happy. So biggest takeaway right there, if you are struggling with heartburn, you've talked to your doctor, you're taking medicine. I took medicine for years. I didn't notice a difference at all. Only changing my diet has worked for me. But yeah, I don't know why that works, because I realized like the first day I was like, shoot, I'm gonna have the worst heartburn because of this diet. No. I looked it up later because I was like, why? Am I just special? No, some people just have less heartburn on a lower carbohydrate diet. And that should have been something that I looked into earlier, because bananas and oatmeal give me wicked heartburn for literally no reason. And I know that's like what you're supposed to eat when your stomach is bothering you. So probably should have looked into that a while ago, but here we are, finally figured it out. Very thankful for that information. So I feel like that bit of keto information is very particular to me or anyone else studying having heartburn. So I hadn't really heard anyone talk about it, or I hadn't read about it. It wasn't until I was going through this that I was so thankful that that was something that was going to happen, because I really didn't think it was. So the next thing is just my stomach in general. How did it feel? So, you know, I was saying before, like normally it would really bother me. I would get crazy bloating for no reason. It was so uncomfortable, and people always comment that I wear a lot of dresses. Yes, because I can't always fit into my pants. Here's the secret, guys. If I've ate something that my stomach cannot digest, I'm putting on a dress, because there's no way I'm constricting myself with pants. No, thank you. But I didn't have any of that except for when I ate the Portuguese egg tart. But that was like a no in so many categories, because it was like high sugar, it was gluten, it was me on an empty stomach with a thing of caffeine. It only could have gone poorly. I'm not blaming the egg tart. He was great. I felt like I was, you know, vacationing for a hot minute while I ate that. I was very appreciative of that. But yeah, that hurt my stomach like crazy. And that was the only time that happened. Very, very thankful for that. But yeah, my stomach felt so much better. No heartburn, no swelling of the tummy. It just chugged along great. It was so great. I could eat 2 to 3 times as much as I normally could in one sitting and it not hurt my stomach. But on the flip side, I was like never hungry. After 2 days, I just was like, I guess I should eat. It was really me tracking my food, knowing that like, Katie, you need to eat. So that was kind of hard at first. I do not like to eat if I don't feel hungry, but you know, this whole keto thing, safe space. I knew that if I had to eat, it was my turn to eat, my time, that if I ate, even though I didn't feel hungry, it was gonna be okay. And I really, really appreciated that. It was very exciting. I was very thankful for that. Just kudos to my tummy. So those were definitely my 2 biggest takeaways, that I had virtually no heartburn and no stomach issues. Those are the 2 things. Well, I didn't even think about that. Really, I just wanted no stomach issues on this way of eating, and I got that. I'm very, very thankful. Heartburn, beautiful, beautiful bonus points. And then some other collateral, I would say, those just 2 things so far outweighed any kind of benefit that I could ever imagine. But some other things I noticed is that I did not really have an afternoon slump. So I would say it took me about 2 days to get into ketosis, or kind of like feel like something was a little different. So that's kind of what I'm using as a benchmark there. So there was about 2 days where I was feeling like a little tired or sluggish, or probably craving sugar. Let's be real, it's probably what it was. But it's a trade-off. Like how would I have normally felt during the afternoon, you know, a week before? I would have felt the exact same way. So I can sit here and be like, oh yeah, I got the keto flu or did X, Y, and Z, but like I was feeling bad beforehand, so it's kind of a moot point. I don't think I got the keto flu. I've had the real flu. Nothing I felt compared to any of that. Just there was a couple times in the afternoon that I just felt tired. But once I was like a few days in, that didn't really happen. Like I would just be working, like, oh shoot, it's 2 o'clock. I need to eat lunch. Like, what do you know? Like, so proud of myself. While normally I would, like, at 10 a.m. I'm like, 2 hours to lunch. And like an hour later, oh, it's only been 10 minutes. Like I would just count. I love my job. It's not an issue with my job or anything. It's just my body. I don't know. I'm not saying the work is boring or anything. I'm just saying that is normally where my hunger cues would start or my attention would start to fade. But on keto, I did not feel that. Other disclaimers, you know, maybe the work I was doing was more rapid at that pace or more interesting. I don't know. I don't really think it was. I think it's just the same thing that I always do at work. I always like what I'm doing. So I don't know, but that is some information there. And then as you saw before, I kicked myself out of ketosis a few times, and it was always a little rough coming out of ketosis and a little rough getting into it. I think I've learned at this point that if I'm going to kick myself out of ketosis, to expect a headache. It hurts my head, whether it's healthy carbs or not or whatever else. I start feeling pressure on my head and get a little foggy, and it takes me like 2 or 3 days to adjust to carbs again, with where that headache and that fog goes away. Overall, I did feel more clear-headed and energetic on keto, and I'm not going to provide more data because we saw that was like kind of a mess before, but I can tell in my planner that I did more while I was on keto. I have way more check boxes. I love to make lists. I just physically did more. So that's not really up for debate. I mean, you can, you know, we both can say like, oh, maybe I like that work more, or maybe, you know, I slept better the night before and that's why I was doing more things throughout this keto challenge. I don't know, you're right, it could have been, but it still stands that while trying keto, I did more things, and I was thankful for that. All this being said, nothing will keep me from eating the foods that I love. I just need to be aware of whatever potential consequences there might be. So if I really want to eat a cinnamon roll, but I know that I'm going to have like 8 hours volunteering somewhere, running back and forth, doing whatever and talking to like hundreds of people, I'm not going to eat the cinnamon roll before that, like afterwards. And I'm fine with that information. It's good to know that. And same difference going out to lunch with coworkers. Like now I know, like maybe don't get a salad, you know, maybe just get a hamburger, no bun and cheese. Like I never would have ordered that before because I thought that the salad was healthier, but if my body digests, you know, meat and cheese better, then that's what's better for me. Digested is best, absolutely. Okay, I think that is all I have to say about myself. We talked about myself a lot, but I was just very excited about all the things I have learned and done, and I really didn't expect that much change out of this one thing. It didn't feel that difficult to me. I was just really thankful throughout the whole process. So I kind of want to get a viewpoint that I haven't really seen a lot on keto videos, and I just want to give my 2 cents and just talk about what worked best for me. So talking about diet, I kept trying not to use the word diet, but you're not going to see it a lot because I'm trying to edit it out, but keto eating style was extremely hard for me to say. There's the T. It was very difficult for me. But anytime you're changing your eating style or you're telling yourself you're going to go on a diet or anything, focus on what you can eat. Like that is so much more important. So I didn't sit there each morning thinking about what I was gonna eat for the day and be like, sandwich, no. Bowl of cereal, no. Oatmeal, no. No, I was just like, okay, well, I've got eggs, I've got walnuts, I've got arugula, I've got, oh, what if I make like a little salad with like walnuts crumbled on top? Just focus on what you can eat, because at the end of the day, like I said before, like I'm not the keeper of all foods. So I can frame myself saying I'm on a restrictive diet, but like I'm always on a restrictive diet. Like I don't travel around the world every week to go grocery shopping. There's so many things I never get to have and so many things I never purchase. I'm only one person here. So just focus on what you can eat. So throughout each day, even if you didn't see it on this video, from now on, now that I'm eating healthy again, I do really focus on eating dark leafy greens. Like when you wake up in the morning, make sure You know, at some point throughout the day, you're getting like 2 to 3 servings of dark leafy greens. I loved having a little bowl of frozen blueberries for dessert or snack, so I made sure to always do that when I was feeling it. So I've already got 3 things you need to eat throughout the day. I tried to always eat some kind of nuts. Those walnuts I loved, man. So like I would be like, oh, what if I could eat 2 to 3 servings of walnuts throughout the day? I had to get my protein in, so like 2 to 3 servings of protein. That's 6 things. 7, I don't know, things I already have to eat throughout the day. So if you focus on what you can eat, I think it starts getting a lot more exciting. And then I don't feel like you have to add a ton of fat. Like I've seen so many videos where people just eat spoonfuls of oil or chunks of butter, and maybe if you're an athlete or you require a lot of calories for just to stay alive, you need that. I'm a relatively small person. I don't take up a lot of volume in this world. I don't know. This is how God made me. So maybe that's just like a me thing. But I found that I definitely got enough fats once I prepared my vegetables and my protein source. If I just drizzled some fat, cooked it in butter or whatever, like I didn't need a slab of butter at any point, at any time. I mean, I guess that's essentially what those walnuts were, because they're pretty much all fat. But I don't know. That wasn't me. I didn't do that. I think I have an adequate relationship with fat. I would never eat chunks of it. I can't. That's weird to me. No offense if you do it. I don't think it's weird if anyone else does it. The texture is no. Unless it's that butter dipping sauce for Papa John's, as you guys saw, I tried to recreate that. That is okay with me. So I guess what I'm really saying is I could have drank my butter, but never mind. It didn't need to happen. I just need to make sure that I created sauces or something, or toppings, or just incorporated that throughout everything else. No sides of butter were required. I'm a huge proponent of eating whole foods. Less processed, the better, unless, once again, you can't digest things. So people always want to say whole foods, but if you can't eat raw spinach, but you can eat it cooked and chopped, that's better for you, okay? And I really stand that way on fruits and vegetables as well, because my body definitely processes cooked, mushy vegetables better than plucked from the garden raw, although I do prefer that. I also think one of the most important things that I learned throughout doing this diet and researching more about keto, more about what doctors had to say about it, and reading journal articles, is that fat is just so important to our bodies. And for a multitude of reasons, we have come out saying that, you know, fat is bad or it causes all these damages to our bodies. But at the end of the day, even if that is true, which I don't think is true, research has shown to negate a lot of stuff that people have said in those kinds of articles. But even if that's true, we all still agree that fat is a critical need in our bodies, and we can't produce some of those essential fats. So learning that, and then also learning that fat is even more important inside of a woman's body because it's used to help regulate hormones, but oftentimes women are attacked and judged for eating high fat foods. Who is that? We just gotta accept we've been wrong. I don't know who, what, why it has happened. Sorry to all the women out there, but fat is really good for us. It's really needed. And if you have high insulin levels, your body struggles to get access to that fat, whether or not you have it on your body. So just make sure that you're getting enough fat in your diet. Make that a priority when you're meal planning or doing whatever. I think a lot of us at least know that we need protein in our diet, and we try and make that a focus or make sure that we're getting enough of that. But make sure you're doing the same with fat. That's so important. And I think that's one of the reasons I probably saw a lot of benefits from this eating style, because I already have a lot of hormone issues. So I don't know, maybe I just needed more fat, and my body was like, thank you, like a little thirsty plant getting water. Either way, that's absolutely changed my life. And every time I'm meal planning, fixing a snack, fixing food, doing whatever, I will be looking for my essential amino acids in the proteins that I'm consuming, but also ensuring that I'm getting essential fats. They're welcome. So I hope that you guys maybe learned something, or at least were just entertained, or just happy for me that I'm feeling better. Either way, I appreciate you guys just watching this whole thing, kind of putting up with me and my crazy personal human experiments that I do on myself. But I really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to just kind of navigating this new eating style and either turning my favorite foods into keto-friendly versions or just discovering new things like that pizza bowl. Oh, so good. So thanks so much for listening. And if you've tried keto, you've tried other eating styles that have made you feel great. I know some people have switched to vegetarian and they feel amazing, or vegan, or going grain-free, or even doing a meat diet. So whatever your choices have been, I would love to hear about them and how you stumbled upon them, or just what your favorite food is. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you next video.